It's round 2 of the Enduro World Series. Welcome to Manizales.
I don't need recognition. I'm on a mission. I'm paying dues. I'm in position. I'm staying up. It's getting late.
The guessing games of round 1 are over, and we have swapped the arid dust of Chile for the dense jungle of Colombia in the process. Last time out in Barnechea, Chile, we saw the return of the Sam and Cecile show. The reigning champions took the win in their respective classes amidst a high-altitude dust bowl, but Manizales is a different animal altogether, and a very different skill set will come to the fore. And with that, it is time to get racing underway. This is stage 1 of 8, seconds out. It's round 2 of the Enduro World Series.
Crowd's going wild, yeah, it's just such a different thing to be flying through the streets like that. I can't wait for tomorrow. We've got nice big grey clouds above us here, so that could make it interesting.
Yeah, we don't race on tarmac or concrete often, but there's so much grip if you're willing to tip the bike in.
Like, I used to do some of these races, and it's just like a little bit like motocross, a lot of sprinting, and 2 shitty years, and just getting the first stage win here is, I'm stoked, you know.
I've never seen so many people in this track. I was getting beer in my head on my goggles. It's surprising how fast these bikes are, well, how capable.
In front of a packed crowd of 20,000 people, the first ever urban EWS stage went to none other than the hometown hero, Marcelo Gutierrez. He made his street racing experience count when it mattered and topped the timesheets ahead of Adrian Day. Day's result would be affected by a time penalty incurred as a result of a practice infringement, which would boost Jared Graves into second and Teo Galli into third. In the women's race, Annika Beerton claimed Alchemy Bicycles Factory Racing's debut stage win ahead of Isabel Corderier and Katie Winton.
So what brings us to Colombia then? Well, we've been to South America on no fewer than 3 occasions with the Enduro World Series, but never actually here. This urban stage, the assault on the senses right through the heart of Manizales, is just an appetite whetter, however. The bulk of the racing will take place in the hills behind us across 40 kilometres and 7 more stages. Stage 2, known as Densa, is the second longest of the day at 1.7 kilometres. The third stage, Panamericano, is slightly longer again, whilst the fourth test, El Argel, marks the halfway point. Stage 5 is 1.2 kilometres in length, while Stage 6, Pensamiento, is 2.2 kilometres in length. It's the longest of the day. Stage 7 is the aptly named Stump Jumper, and Stage 8 brings the checker flag into view at the final test. Cecile Ravenel and Sam Hill are of course our reigning champions, but they also lead this year's championship on account of both having won at round 1. But it wasn't easy. Cecile had a mechanical issue which cost her a lot of time, and Sam was pushed hard by a top 5 constantly snapping at his heels.
In the team's championship, we had an EWS first. GT Factory Racing and the Cube Action team drew level on points in a dramatic twist.
And with that then, let's make the jump from the urban jungle to, well, the actual jungle. Here's stage 2.
Heavy rain overnight and an extremely hot start to the day meant that stage 2 consisted of axle deep, peanut butter like mud throughout its 1.7 kilometres of length.
Everybody's talking about my girlfriend. Everybody's talking all the time. Everybody at the weekend. The sound is everybody's talking about my girlfriend.
The hardest thing I've ever done in my life. Like feet clipped out, sliding everywhere.
Probably the hardest EWS stage to date.
Absolute battle for body, and when it rains it pours in Colombia. That is not what we practice.
It's super physical. Got passed by Sam, so just it's not really perfect for my cold either.
third corner, hit my knee on my shifter, got no gears, so no assistance, so it's just pointless trying to continue with no gears.
It's a peak stage and you don't know where you must go. You don't choose the bike choice for you.
The rain's stopped and now it's just getting stickier and slower, so we might have some dry stuff later on in the day.
Yes, Sam!
The reigning champion and winner of round 1, Sam Hill, had dropped to a cautious 19th on stage 1. He made up for it amidst the quagmire of stage 2, however. Whilst most were reduced to paddling or running, Hill got on with carving impossibly fast lines and broke the beam, having amassed a 25-second lead. Gutierrez on a full mud tyre setup was in second, with Damien Auton now up to third. Cecile Ravenel stormed to a win and amassed a 29-second lead over Winton. Panamericano Stage 3 featured more of the incredible bamboo bridges and culminated in a flat-out charge across open hillside.
Step on the gas, step on the gas. I gotta be somewhere. I'm on the up, it's going good. They can do nothing but stop and stare. I'm in a rush. I'm living so fast. Maybe
Twisted my knee and smacked my ass.
my butt is to the floor. My ambition's out the door. I'm going at full speed. It's my life, it's what I need. Yeah, my foot is to the floor. My ambition's out the door. I'm going at full speed. It's my life, it's what I need. Sometimes I get annoying. Every so quiet for it to begin.
I don't know the result, but I don't care. Right now I just hope I can survive until tonight, because it's quite warm out there.
Sometimes I get annoying, ever so quiet for it to begin. Don't ever slow down, never slow down. Wait for me, hey, hey, hey. Don't ever slow down, never slow down.
French privateer Youn Denio was now up to a remarkable 4th, whilst Hill stretched his lead over Gutierrez to 36 seconds. Even with the Colombian's home field advantage, the Australian was beginning to look unstoppable. The top 3 women held station at the end of stage 3, but Kurt Derrier was busying herself with making inroads into the gap between herself and Winton. Cecile was now out front by nearly 50 seconds and clearly enjoying herself. Although one of the shortest stages of the day, stage 4 was to be one of the toughest tests. Its relatively mellow gradient and thick mud made it a real test of rider and machinery alike.
The courses are gnarly, but the biggest struggle is just getting past people. You're not really able to brake, and so we'll just be standing right there, and you're like, dude, out of the way, you're done with.
Longest distance with no feet on the pedals. A whole stage.
That was wild. Probably the worst conditions yet. Like, just even when it got a bit steeper and you thought it was going to get faster, the rut was still so deep that you just couldn't move.
Well, feet out, like, just paddling along, like. But I guess it's the same for everyone, so we just have to take it.
Happy with my tire choice. At some point I was like, man, I'm regretting it. So hard into that hill, but man, I think the descent is good.
This every stage is treacherous, and there's loads of time to either be made or lost, so yeah, just stay focused and keep doing it.
After finishing second on stage 4, Isabeau Cordelier leapfrogged Katie Winton up into second on the road behind Cécile Ravenel. In the men's, Hill made it a hat-trick of wins to start the day, with Gutierrez still best of the rest, just ahead of Auton and Denio. Marcelo's earlier starting position was a bonus on the stages, but he just couldn't topple the Chain Reaction Cycle's Mavic Star. Morenita represented stage 5 and was a rider favourite. The first half was a warp speed run through the steeply walled tunnel, and the second half was loamy corner heaven.
So much fun at the end. You have to survive, but you have to push hard because there are spectators and the dirt is good. Dry, but super slippery, like ice.
I had a bad crash. Maybe I lose many time, I don't know.
I felt much better on this one, but it's quite slippery, so you need to be very careful to not make some mistakes and do not crash.
Josh Bryceland, roared on by the Colombian fans, managed to split Hill and Gutierrez on 5, but in the overall the big story was that Denio was now up to 3rd. Robin Wallner and Greg Callahan were now locked in their own private battle for 5th after the Irishman had mechanical issues on the stage. In the women's race, the time gaps were growing. Ravenel was now out front by almost a minute, whilst Winton had come unstuck on the stage, and Cordelier now led her by 30 seconds. The last-minute cancellation of Stage 6 due to a torrential downpour the night before meant that the extremely physical Stage 7 was to be the penultimate test and the last real opportunity to claw back time.
A small crash on the first climb.
Painful. That was painful.
Happy how the day's gone so far?
It's okay. I had ups and downs. I had really good sections and then pushed too hard over the bars. Like, had to overtake a lot of girls. It's not so easy in these ruts.
Felt really slow, but I think it's same for everyone because the roots are so deep and yeah, it just feels slow, and well, I did my best and I'm happy.
And he had every right to be happy. Damien Auton opened his stage win account for 2018 with the win and reclaimed 3rd spot as a result. Hill was now 50 seconds up on Gutierrez and looked assured of the win. Ines Toma won stage 7 ahead of Cécile Ravenel, but the reigning champion still had a firm grip of the race. The final stage of the day brought the riders through the race village and down to the finish line. At just 500 metres in length, it was about as short an enduro stage as you're ever likely to find, but there was still time up for grabs. Sam Hill duly made it 2 wins out of 2 in 2018. Eddie Masters took the stage win, but Marcelo Gutierrez put in a strong performance to hold on to his second place in the overall, whilst Othon was rewarded for his consistency with third. Katie Winton won the final stage of the day, but it wouldn't be enough to topple Cordelia in the overall, who held on for her second successive second place. Cécile Ravenel had been mesmerising on the stages all day long and managed to make the most sense of incredibly tricky conditions to seal the win at a relative canter. Sam, 2 wins out of 2 at the opening 2 rounds of the year. Doesn't get better than that, surely?
Yes, it feels amazing. It was like a bit of a long goal, I guess, coming into these two, and totally opposite styles of tracks and conditions. I knew that stage 7 wasn't going to be my strongest one, so the plan was to attack early and try and build a bit of a lead.
2 very different races as well. France next, are you going to go there?
Yeah, different, but the 2 was hard and physical, and it's what I like when it's a hard race.
The big question is, are you going to go and race the next round in France after these 2 wins?
I don't know.
You still don't know?
I don't know.
Marcelo, second place at your home EWS. It's not a bad day out, is it?
Man, that was a big day out there. That was quite a thing, and the tracks were just unreal. I thought I was fit enough, but this is hard.
Marcelo, looking forward to doing a few more EWS this year as well, potentially.
Yeah, eventually I might be trying to do Spain or Italy after the World Cup season is done. Eventually I might move over there, who knows, but that could be a thing for the future.
Isabeau second again today, happy with that?
Super happy with that. It was quite hard for me this morning. I had a crash on the first one, and then I said, okay, just relax, enjoy, have fun. And then it was like I felt better and better, so I could like catch up KETs that has like quite an advance on me. It's been such a cool place to stay. People here are like so welcoming. So I had a perfect weekend.
You said at the bottom of stage 2 today that the most important thing was not crashing. Was that the same everywhere? Were you just consistent everywhere?
Yeah, because on those conditions you can book anything, derail, because there is a deep roots, and so I just have a really consistent days and make me on the podium, so I'm really happy.
How tough is it out there in the mud? Because I mean, they're not on UK like stages, are they?
No, but I've never ridden anything quite like it, to be honest. We were literally like children paddling along in some of the stages.
We go to France next. How confident are you that you can beat Isabeau and possibly Cécile in their own backyard?
I think in these first 2, I've learned a lot and I know what I need to improve on, so I'm just going to work my butt off and see what we can do in France.
And here is the proof, if it were needed, that winning both of the opening races of a championship puts you in a good position in the overall. Hill and Ravenel reign supreme for now. Cordelia and Winton lead the chase in the women's, whilst in the men it's all heating up nicely. Robin Wallner will head to round 3, best of the rest, just ahead of Damien Othon, who will be racing in virtually his own backyard. In the team's championship, Canyon Factory Enduro team took the win on the day, but Ibis Cycles Enduro race team held on to their lead in the overall. The Cube Action team are currently sitting in third in the title race. And that is it here from Manizales in Colombia. The big news is that Cécile Ravenel and Sam Hill, our reigning champions, have made it 2 wins out of 2 each at the start of the year. Can anyone beat them? We'll have to wait till next time out in Montagne de Carrou in the southwest of France to find out.